Hi guys, today we'll do two things. First is explore the main features of Visual Studio which you needed to install and set up. And second is start getting familiar with HTML and CSS, and you'll have a task to do at home which Emma announced later in this video. Well, let's start. Click Create a New Project. Here you'll see many different options to create different projects. You can sort them by selecting what language you're planning on using. For us it is C#. Now platforms. Where do you want your project to be available on? Windows, Android, anything else? But we'll just keep all platforms. And then what the project is about. Here we choose web. Sorted, we still have many options, but find the one that says ASP.NET Core Web App Razor Pages, select it and click Next. And obvious, choose a name for your first mini project and location. And make sure the checkbox under the solution name is checked and hit Next. For framework, choose .NET 8.0 option. Authentication type none. Under authentication type check configure for HTTPS and do not use top-level statements. We're now ready to start. At the top you should be seeing a button with a green arrow. It is responsible for running our project. Make sure debug is selected where my mouse is, it's used for testing. Release option is used when we are done and ready to publish our website. These two blue buttons are for saving any changes we made. The left one is for saving the file opened right now, and the right one is for saving all files in our project. On the right side you see, call them tabs. We're going to be using only Solution Explorer because Toolbox and Properties go together, and we're making a website, not a Windows app. At the top where it says Solution and the name of your project is basically one big folder consisted of all files needed for our website. As I said, we'll code in C#, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In folder www, we have two subfolders that we'll be using, and as you can guess, it is CSS and JS folders. The Pages folders contains every file for every page on our website. The file view start is the file that has the file name of what page to display first when anyone visits our website. Usually it is the home page. Here we see that the first page we display is in file called _layout that lives in subfolder shared. Okay, so this HTML. It has two main parts, head tag and body tag. Why called tags? Tags just means the thing inside the angle brackets. Head tag is the brain of the page. It stores all the behind-the-scenes info like the page title, what you see on the browser tab, links to style sheets, how it looks, scripts, how it behaves. People don't see this stuff directly. And body tag is the body of the page. It's everything people actually see, text, images, buttons, all the stuff you interact with. The best procedure is to put all links including scripts in head tag, but it's not unusual to notice them at the end of body tag. We're going to go through some of the tags, but if you want to explore on your own, you can hover the tag with your mouse and a mini description will show up. Also, in body tag, we have header tag. It's like the top part of a website. It's where you place the logo, the page name, and the menu so people know what site they're on and how to click around. Think of it like the banner at the top of YouTube or any app, the part that stays the same. By knowing this, we can now read the code and picture what we should see when we run the project. So we'll see a button, div tag. Doesn't mean anything, it's just an empty container, used to group stuff together so you can style it and move around as a unit. Most HTML tags have start and end. In the opening tag, you may name class if you want its and other tag styles to be the same, and you may add an ID to it so it had a unique style. Inside of the div tag, we have the unordered list tag shortened to ul tag, and inside of that tag, we have as many listed items, meaning li tags, as we want. Here inside of li tags, we have a tag responsible for labels to be clickable. And between opening and closing of the A tag, we have the label itself, and where it says ASP page is the link to the home page. So in the top banner, we should see home and privacy links. To run the code, click the button at the top with a green arrow. And here are links and name of our project. Before trying them, let's look at the code in the browser. For that, use hotkeys Ctrl-Shift-C or right-click and inspect document. On the right side, our code will pop out and you may add changes to it. You might question, why would we have two places to code at? Sometimes you're not sure if you should add some div tags or what part of CSS code to replace, remove, or add. Remember, CSS code is style. So this is a good idea to code in browser, especially if it is the design you're stuck on. But keep in mind that after reloading our website, the changes made in browser will not save in our code. Think of this space as for experiments, check mistakes, or a let's see what if we add something thingy. We were in tab elements, next is console tab. In there we'll see any errors if it is the part of code that isn't working or anything else. The source tab has our CSS and JS files. You can edit them here too, but keep in mind they won't be automatically saved in the original code. After you're satisfied with the code you did in browser, copy it and paste in Visual Studio Code. And the network tab shows records all network requests made by the page, including requests for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, and API calls about which we'll talk later. Hover on the code zone. You'll notice that as you move your mouse, some web page parts start highlighting. They highlight because you're hovering on the code that created, or, you can say, drew them. Also, if you know what part of the web page you want to edit, you can hover it and right-click or use hotkeys Ctrl-Shift-C, and the browser will find the line of its HTML code for you. By the way, in the Elements tab or page whatever, you'll find the window I'm opening up right now. This is also a place for your CSS codes, but they're mixed with the system by default styles as well, so don't be freaked out when you see some style you never put. I find style editing easier in the Elements page because it is faster to show up, and it gives me hints on what I might be looking for, like all the available colors, fonts, or size units. Let's play with Welcome Label. Turn some styles off by unchecking the boxes next to each line of CSS code, and let's make the Welcome label be italic style. To do so, we need to type in font style and italic. Pay attention to where I place my mouse, easier to show than explain. After hitting enter, we see that italic font style applied instantly. Let's see what some other setting we have for font. Never heard of font palette. Wonder what is it? Yeah, guys, some style things won't work if we don't add one or more change to make it work. Honestly, never worked with font palette, so I'm gonna drop it for now. But also why I like doing style in browser is because if I don't know what font I want, I can just type font family and scroll down through each one until I find the one. Also, I'm asking you to notice that I'm applying style changes to class display for. I knew it was a class because when we add style to a class, we always put dot before the name of the class. Same thing you can notice is happening here. And I'll turn off the font palette this time. Okay, now look to what I'm about to add some style. Specifically for this element, not worrying about its class or tag, because you can also add one style to all, for example, div tags or paragraph tags. But here I add unique style for specifically one element, and I want to add a border. Actually, I'ma do only underline, but it's called border bottom. Alright, back to Visual Studio. Remember I said there are two places where you can put script tags, first in head and second in body. Both are correct. Okay, let's now add a page to our website. Open Solution Explorer, right-click on the folder pages. Find Add, and at the top click Razor Page. A window opens. Razor Page Empty should be selected and click Add. Now naming the file of the page. The page is your homework task where you write about yourself. In Classroom, you'll find additional resources regarding tags and styles. I will personally name the file Hello Page. We now added a page, and in the curly brackets, we put the C# code. Also, notice that the type of our file is CSHTML. CS translates as C#. Therefore, this means we put C# and HTML code in this file, and this also answers your probably question, why in the other file there were not any brackets and there are in this file. Outside of the brackets, we put our HTML code, and inside of them we put C#. By the way, in coding we have a thing called comments. We use them as documentation of, for example, this whole project or what a piece of code is doing, or as short hints. In C#, to start typing a comment, you put 2 slashes, and then we start typing our comment. It always changes the color to green. I also use comments as a reminder to what I learned new, so the next day I was coding I didn't forget. Yeah guys, since syntax is different for all programming languages, that means we have different rules for every language. And from there, for HTML, it's another way to write comment is to type symbol less than, exclamation mark, and 2 minus signs. Now we're ready to start creating our page. Let's add a H1 tag and put something in there and see how big the message will be. Time for the paragraph tag. Notice that when you finish typing the start of the tag, Visual Studio automatically adds its closing part. Yeah, I said the best practice is to separate everything, C#, HTML, CSS, and JS, but since this is a small project, we will not add CSS file, and we'll just add style tag and type style in here. Let's optimize our H1 text and paragraph. For H1 tag, add class and name it H1-text. It isn't necessary, but you may add ID to H1 tag as well. ID and class names should differ from each other. To ID, I just add ID at the end. Add as many paragraphs as you want, so you practiced with many different styles. First thing we're going to style is the H1 text. Type .h1 text and open curly brackets. As you remember, in CSS means we're addressing to all elements that have that same name for their classes. Okay, let's do the H1's font size. Type font size, and not we tell what size we want. Before saying we want it to be 200 pixels in height, put colon. And to finish any style you do, put semicolon at the end, after in this case 200 px in this case. This time, we use the H1's class to style it. If you want to use its ID instead, use hashtag and the ID name instead of dot. Pick one method, don't use both, because repeating styles in multiple ways creates redundant code, which is bad practice. Next, remember I said we can apply one design for all tags? Let's do one style for all paragraphs. For that, just put P and curly brackets. But before that, add class and ID to our paragraphs. Done, now the design. I'll set font size for 150 pixels. Next, I'll do the first paragraph, and we'll experiment with some font. Type font -family, colon, and scroll down through all and intuitively choose one. The second paragraph's turn. Type hashtag and the second paragraph's name. The second paragraph I'll do in Calibri font style. Okay, now, done with the styles. Let's now add the link to our page. Go back to the layout file. Find the code I'm copying right now and do my steps. So just copy and paste just where I do and change the text to something like About Me or Hello Page like I did. And don't forget to change the ASP page to your file name of the page we created. Now let us see what we get. Clicking button to our page. And we find that the 200 pixels are too much, so are the 150 pixels. Okay, before making any changes to original code, let's open editor here and experiment. Find the font size and set it up for 50 pixels or any other number you want. Same thing for our H1 text, or even completely turn off font size. Let's add some background color so it wasn't boring white. For that, type body and open curly brackets. Now type background color and choose one. I'll make the font smaller, but not small enough. I prefer 50 pixels. Or you know what, I will remove it completely. And 25 pixels for paragraphs. Okay, I like this font size. I'll move it to our original code. I am used to Ctrl-C and V. And I'll delete the H1 text style. Alright, this is it. Thanks for watching this video, and we will see each other in the next video.